Okay, so what we have uh, discussed till so far is the reaction, particularly based on electrophilic chemistry, right? We have seen a variety types of reactions. Now, today, what we'll do is we'll be focusing on particularly the reaction which is nucleophilic. So, nucleophilic reaction towards pyridine. Now, here what uh, we have to first find out, because you have there are three carbon positions in pyridine. So we have to first find out what could be the suitable position that a nucleophile can attack that particular carbon center. Now, definitely the nucleophilic attack generally will not be at the nitrogen center as we have uh, quite expected, because we have seen already the nitrogen is already acting as the electron sink, so it is already electron populated. Okay. So the nucleophile, which is electron rich, will definitely not attack the nitrogen. So we don't see the nitrogen centered reaction. Rather, in this case, we will see only the oxygen centered reactions. Sorry, only the carbon centered reactions. Now let us find out. You have alpha position, you have beta position, you have gamma position. So we'll see the nucleophile. What could be the possible uh, resonating structure if you have nucleophilic attack on the alpha carbon center? And we find that you have several resonating structure. One of them, you have the negative charge is on the nitrogen, which is most electronegative in this case, and that is definitely driving the reaction. So you have the alpha position is preferable. What about the beta position? If the beta position the nucleophile is attacking, we see the electron movement here. And if you further move the electrons, you will see the always the carbon will have the negative charge. Okay. Uh, in this case, none of the resonating structure you will find as nitrogen is having the negative charge. So there is relatively less preference over the alpha atom. Okay. Now let us look at the gamma. What is happening to the gamma? If you allow the nucleophile to attack at the gamma center, you see if you do the movement, we find the ultimate electron charge. We'll find at a situation with one resonating structure having uh, nitrogen, the I mean the anionic charge. So that means what we find from these different resonating structure due to the attack of nucleophile to the different position, alpha, beta, and gamma center, only the alpha and the gamma, they are behaving the similar way. You have the nitrogen with negative charge, which is the most preferable situation. So in this case, unlike the electrophilic reaction, you have the preference of alpha and gamma attack over the beta. So electronegative atom, nitrogen having negative charge is more favorable. That is the first point. Second, both the gamma and alpha substitutions are favorable, that we can establish from this fact. Uh, the nitrogen acts as the electron sink, means it is the reservoir, it is taking the electron to drive the resonance. And then you have barometricity will is barometricity is regained by loss of hydride. So that means when you nucleophile is attacking, it's making the bond. So that means one of the hydrogen has to release. Okay, and that is going out by the hydride release. Okay. And we can call that the process is the oxidation, because you are releasing the hydrogen. So oxidation, sometimes oxidizing reagent is required to do the aromatization in this case. Now we'll look at different examples and see what are the variations you have. Now the first thing we look at the substitution reaction. Suppose we have the pyridine ring, we have the substitutions, mostly the substituents which are good leaving good too. So kind of you have a halogen, okay, chlorine, bromine, iodine, sometimes nitro also, and you have nucleophile, which we consider like you have the regular nucleophile like methoxy, nitrogen-based nucleophile and sulfur-based nucleophile. Okay. Now, if you look at the reaction, what will be the situation? Definitely, we know that the alpha and gamma will be the most preferable position. So, suppose you have the favored electron withdrawing substituents that are also good leaving. Okay, so that means the reaction will be more favorable if you have the X is having the potential of acting as good leaving group also. Okay, that means if you go for the chloro and bromo or iodo, definitely it is the iodo which is going to react faster, right? That is made by here. The position of the X, it does matter. Okay, excuse me. Where is the X group is where it is, whether it is alpha position, beta position, or gamma position. Definitely, the gamma position is much more preferable than alpha, than the beta. We generally see, and if you look at a particular experiment, you will understand the point. So, suppose we have the chloropyridine. Okay, so now we can think the pyridine may be at gamma position, at beta position, or at alpha position. Okay, and you're reacting with the ethoxide. Uh, so your ethoxy version will be generated. You have different groups here if you look at. The extreme left one, instead of having nitrogen here, we have kept one nitro group. Okay, so that can act as the electron sink too, because you have this movement. Okay, like you have this movement. Okay, so nitro will be much more preferable, definitely. Now you have the gamma position, you have the alpha, and you have the beta position. So let us look at the relative rate. Okay, if you take the alpha position as the relative is 1, what will be the situation of the relative rate of other the substances? Okay, if it's reacting, if they are reacting with the ethoxide. What we find is that beta chlorosubstituents, when the beta ethoxide is going to form, that is 10 to the power minus 4, means it's 10 to the power minus 4 times lower rate with respect to the alpha position. So this is beta, and you have here gamma. So gamma, what we see is that with respect to the alpha, the gamma attack will be 40 times higher. And if you have the nitrogen, instead of nitrogen, if you just have a nitro group there, it will be much more faster way. So it is 80 times. So definitely you can understand how the reactivity is changing. Okay, if you try to do the electrophilic substitution reaction, I mean the nucleophilic substitution reaction. What will be the situation in case of pyridinium? We have a positive charge. Now your pyridine ring here is electron deficient. That means the nucleophile is going to attack more easily. That means the reaction rate will be overall in comparison to the regular pyridine substituents. Uh, Here the reaction rate will be faster because we have the electron deficiency here. The nucleophile can easily attack. Okay, overall reaction will be the faster in with comparison of the regular pyridine substitute. Now here we have the same X, okay, halo and nitro. You have the nucleophile, methoxy, and the other nucleophile to here. Uh, so pyridinium salt greatly accelerates the reaction, and the substituents effect. What we see is that in this case the alpha is much more uh, faster. Okay, it will be reacting faster way than the gamma, and both will be reacting much more faster way of the beta substance. Okay, so let us look at the situation. Suppose we have this N-methoxy pyridinium Okay, this is system. Okay, we have the chloro, alpha, gamma, and beta positions. You are reacting with the phenoxide. Okay, so what is going to happen? So definitely the chloro is going to be substituted with this group, and that is here. What will be the relative rate? Okay, so you have different substance now. You are reacting, and let us look at the relative rate. What we find in this case is, okay, the beta chloro without the pyridinium, okay, the neutral one, this is, you have already seen that 10 to the power minus 4 in the previous cases, okay. So if you keep this is 10 to the power minus 4, if it is pyridinium, now it is 10 to the power 4 times higher. So the pyridinium beta position chloro is having 1, then pyridine beta position chloro is having 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, so 10 to the power minus 10 to the power 4 times higher rate in this case, the pyridinium system. And then pyridinium beta 2, if you go for the gamma, you have 10 to the power again 4 times higher. And if you go for the alpha chloro system, it is far high, so it is 10 to the power 7. Okay. So you see the overall rate, relative rate, how fast the reaction is happening due to the presence of this positive charge. Okay. Now here what you can understand, since your positive charge is on nitrogen, so this center will be having more electron deficiency, okay, rather than this center, because this is very close to nitrogen. So you have, that's why the reaction will be more facile, more faster way happening at the alpha position over the gamma position. And beta is always, you know, overall the reactivity is not preferred. So what we see is the beta will be having always the less rate of reaction. So this is the situation if you see for pyridinium substitution reaction. Now, the substitution reaction via an intermediate, alkyne intermediate. Okay, so let us look at what does it mean. Suppose you have a substrate, nitrogen, pyridine having the 4 position chloro. Okay, so with respect to nitrogen, you have the 4 position, you have the parachloropyridine. Now, if you are treating with uh, this substrate with sodium amide, okay, what is going to happen? What we have come to know from the previous discussion is that the amide is going to react, right? So it is going to attack, and you have ultimately, first the sink will happen, like the electron pi cloud is moved and nitrogen will have the negative charge. Then what will happen, the rearomatization gaining. So again it will come back, rearomatize, and Cl will be coming out. Okay, Cl minus will be coming out. Now, do we see this is the sole product, or this considerable amount of this product is happening? And what will happen if you have the chloro at this situation, meta position, okay, the beta position. So do we see this is the sole product happening here? Actually, experiment tells no, you have other products too, and that are measurable amount. You have considerable amount formation of, for the first case, you have the meta or the beta position amide or NH2 group incorporation installation, and in the case of the second reaction, you have the gamma position or the para position, the amide group installation. So that means something is going on. It's not like what we think in a regular way. If you look at the proper distributions of the product, what we find is that both the reactions are giving exactly the same result. Okay, for the case, if you have the parachloropyridine, what you see is that the amide group incorporation, H2 group incorporation at the para position is 44%, and at the meta position or the beta position is 27%. And the same fact is happening if you look at, if you start the reaction from beta chloropyridine. Okay, in this case also we find it is the para position which is giving the major yield, I mean which is forming as the major product. Okay, and the meta is having the minor one. Okay, but both are having considerable amount of product formation, both the cases. So that means if they are giving the similar result, what it indicates, they must be going through one single intermediate. That's why it is happening. Okay, and that is expected as the pyridine intermediate. Okay, now if you have this one, what can happen? Your amide can attack here, your amide can attack here. Okay, after formation of this one. You come to know that the 4 position nucleophilic attack is more preferable, or the gamma position is more preferable than beta position. That's why you have the gamma as the meta product. Okay, so here 44%, here 27%. Now, how the mechanism is happening? It's shown here. First is the amide is acting as the base, so it is abstracting the proton and it is generating the alkyne intermediate. Okay, now this alkyne is very, very reactive, you know, because alkyne generally you have to have a straight line conformation, right? So you have to have like this, but here you have the bent structure. Okay, so that's why it is not surviving, quickly trying to react, and your amide is attacking at the, it will prefer to attack at the 4 position first. So you'll have the, both the cases, you'll have the same product distribution. Okay, so this is very, very important in terms of exam, I'm telling. Many times we see this question come. Now this benzene, you know already, this is quite similar to okay, the benzene what we know from our earlier knowledge. So it is not only for amide. What information you have to gain from here is that if you have the base which is quite strong, okay, then this can happen. So when very the very strong base nucleophiles are used, pyridine intermediates are formed. Okay, so pyridines are similar to benzene, as you know, and they are very, very reactive, and reaction is going on. Another class of reaction is the nucleophilic attack with the transfer of hydride, and this is also very interesting reaction. It's very important too. Suppose you have pyridine here, you have no substituents, okay, in this pyridine. Now what is going to happen if you try to react with phenyl lithium? Okay, so you have phenyl lithium. Now you look at the temperature when you are doing reaction of particularly the organolithium compound, we have to lower down the temperature. Okay, and here the reaction is done at 0 degree with non-protic solvent. You have to have non-protic solvent, otherwise your uh, solvent will react with this alkyl lithium. Now what we see is that your reaction is always preferring to happen at this position. Okay. Now here one thing I will mention, generally the alkyl lithium or aryl lithium reaction is done at very, very low temperature. Okay, so the temperature you note down is general temperature is minus 78 degrees centigrade. So this is the temperature we generally use. Okay, at this situation what we find is that now you have the two competitive reaction. One is this is a very, very strong base, right? So it can act as base. Another is this can act as nucleophile. Okay. Now you tell me between the acid base reaction and the substitution or nucleophilic reaction, which reaction is the faster reaction? Can anybody tell? Between the acid base reaction and nucleophilic reaction, which is going to be the faster reaction?
Sir, acid base?
Definitely, this is the acid base reaction which is going to be the faster reaction. Okay, so that's why at very low temperature, we generally observe the acid base reaction. Okay, because this is the very fast reaction at low temperature. You can again minimize the probability of the nucleophilic reaction. Did you get my point? So, but at relatively higher temperature, what we see is that nucleophilic reaction is going to happen. Okay, and what we see here is that that is the situation. You have the temperature now here 0 degree instead of 78, minus 78, and that's why we find the nucleophilic reaction. What we see is that you have different places, right? You have different places, the alpha, beta, gamma, and we have seen that uh, the gamma and alpha are more preferable. Okay, and what you have seen in the first slide is that it is the gamma when you are using the regular pyridine. Okay, it's not pyridinium, it's regular pyridine. The gamma is giving the faster reactions, giving the better yield, okay, than the alpha. Beta is always the not preferable position. Now, in this case particularly, what we see is that it is the alpha which will be the more favorable position. Okay, why it is so? The situation is in a different way. You have the lithium here. So what will happen here? First, the the lithium will coordinate, okay, with this nitrogen lone pair. Did you get the point? And that makes the phenyl to become closer to the alpha position rather than the gamma position. That's why we see the reaction is happening at the alpha position. Okay. If it is base also, it will be doing the same case. If you prefer to abstract the proton at the alpha rather than the gamma position. Okay. So that's why we see the phenyl is attacking here, and you have the nitrogen is acting as the sink. So the pi bond is collapsing on nitrogen. You have the negative charge here, and you see the lithium is here, so you have a coordination. Okay. Now, what will happen after that? You have the re-aromatization. Okay, so your aromatization is lost here, so re-aromatization, and that has happened here in the presence of molecular oxygen. Okay, uh, I mean it may not be always molecular oxygen. The substrate which can accept hydride. Okay, so molecular oxygen, it can accept hydride and it can undergo peroxide formation. Okay, so hydride can attack molecular oxygen and you can have uh, HO minus. Did you get the point? HO minus. So that will happen. Okay, if the hydride is attacking. So how the thing happens? You have this uh, nitrogen electron will come on, uh, making the pi bond, and then you have so you have double bond formation. The hydride has to come out, okay, and it is reacting the molecular oxygen. It is generating this peroxide, okay, and then so you'll have the aromatization here. Now, similar situation we'll see if you have used as the amide, so lithamide. So you are using lithium amide, so LiNH2. So lithium amide here, the amide is going to attack here at the center, okay, and you have the similar reaction. Now here in this case, generally we use this reaction in presence of liquid ammonia, okay, liquid ammonia NH3. So this will come and this hydride will take the hydrogen from liquid ammonia. Now here X is written. I'll explain what does it mean by X can be hydrogen or X can be the substrate which will form here. So that you'll understand in a minute. So that hydride can take one hydride from here, hydrogen from here and generate another hydride. Another amide. Did you get? So what we'll see, the aromatization will happen, okay, and this will generate the product. Okay. Now, what I was telling actually, this product itself can help after generation. This product itself can help the aromatization for the next one molecule. So you can understand the negative charge on this particular nitrogen is stabilized, right? Because if you can generate a negative charge here, so it will be stabilized. That's why uh, after generation of this one, so liquid nitrogen has no role. I mean, liquid nitrogen is not going to extract the hydrogen or hydride. Rather, these two will react. Okay, these two will react and form. So this will come here. You have hydride. So this hydride will take the hydrogen from here. Okay, so this hydride take the hydrogen from here and generate this amide intermediate, which is stabilized. So this way you have the full conversion of your product. So what you will get at the end, this will get and this will get. Okay, some of the molecule will be converted to this one, and finally if you add water or liquid ammonia, okay, so what will happen? NH3. So if you have liquid ammonia or water, so finally this is going to be protonated and you will have this as your sole product. Not this one, you have amide as the sole product. So you have amide formation here. Okay, so that is going to happen. Now this reaction is a name reaction, reaction of lithiamide with the pyridine, always the alpha position, you have the amidation. Okay, the hydride acceptor is required, or the oxidizing reagent, as I told, like you have the oxygen, is required to regeneration of aromaticity. So regaining of aromaticity. Lithiamide is reacting at the alpha position, and the reaction is known as the Chichi-Babin reaction. So this is a named reaction. We call it the Chichi-Babin reaction. So this sometimes we see in the exams. Now you look at here. Okay, look at here. What you are using here, in this case, butyl lithium, right? You are using butyl lithium. What is the temperature here? Temperature is 100 degree. Okay, so what we will expect? You will expect the reaction is nucleophilic, and that's why you see the butyl is attacking here. So first the lithiation, I mean the not lithiation, I'll tell, coordination, and butyl will be here at the nearby place of the alpha. So this is going to attack. Okay, and you have this negative charge development on nitrogen, and you have the butylation, followed by you have the aromatization, and that aromatization is, you can think like you have lithium here, so it is falling, you have hydride is coming out, so lithium hydride is coming out. If you don't give any oxidizing reagent, still you can have lithium hydride can come out, and you can have the alkylation at the alpha position. So this is another example in this case. Remember, this is nucleophilic reaction, so you need elevated temperature. Okay, you don't need to go for very low temperature, minus 70 degree, 8 degree, don't require here. Other reaction, you have butyl lithium here, minus 20 degree. It's still found that it is reacting as nucleophile. Okay, so it is generating here, and now what you can do, you can use another, I mean the electrophile to install the functional group here. So what we see in this case, you have the generation of this. Okay, how it is happening? Okay, let me see the first the product formation. So you have generation this, you have the hydrogen here, you have hydrogen here, right? So it needs to get aromatized. In presence of molecular oxygen, it can get aromatization process, and you have this substituted pyridine at this position. Okay, it's a very important reaction. Look at your reaction is being driven by first the nucleophilic addition, followed by the electrophilic reaction. Okay, now what is this one? This is structure wise, we can call this is the Bock protection of nitrogen. Okay, so this is the functional group you have here. This we call it as the Bock. Okay, now this one, if you use, what is happening is here you have the negative charge of nitrogen. So this can fall here, and this is attacking on the nitrogen, and you have negative charge development here, because this negative charge is stabilized. You have the double bond over here at the alpha position to this nitrogen. So that's why we see the formation of this particular compound. Okay, so this is one of the important reaction. Now, another reaction is the direct exchange of metal halogen. Okay, so that means you have the substrate having a halogen in the substrate. Okay, so let us look at. So we have X here, X is the halogen. Now you are reacting with the butyl lithium. Okay, what is going to happen? Now, if you have the halogen, you remember one thing, butyl lithium will generally prefer to react with directly the halogen and do the lithiation. Okay, it's not going to react as the nucleophile to attack at the sp2 carbon. Rather, it will prefer to attack on the halogen. Okay, so attack on the halogen, attack on the halogen. So that is the thing. What is happening? You have butyl minus Li plus. So butyl will attack here, okay, and you have carbon center negative charge development, and there you have the lithiation. Okay, so we call this process as the lithiation. Many people do mistake here. They do the reaction as like this, okay, attacking here and do the butylation. Okay, it's not going to work in this way. If you have the halogen, butyl will always prefer to attack the halogen and it will generate a butyl halide, okay, and lithiation will take place. So what will happen? You have the lithiation in this case, and if you have the lithiation now, it can act as the nucleophile, right? So if you have the cyanide, this is negative now, this is positive. So this phenyl or the pyridyl group will act as the nucleophile. So it will attack here, and you have this one. Okay. So you'll have the C N double bond N minus, you just do protonation, and further if you do addition of water or H3O plus, what is going to happen? This is going to clip, right? This is going to clip and you have the installation of C double bond O. Now remember at the beginning of our electrophilic reaction, I told the pyridine doesn't undergo Friedel-Crafts reaction, right? So you cannot do acylation or RC double bond O installation in the pyridine at the carbon center. Okay. Now this is the route by which you can do acylation type of reaction. Okay. You have to remember here in this case, first you have to do halogenation to the pyridine to make the halopyridine, and then you treat with butyl lithium to install the lithiation, to do the lithiation, and followed by you have to react with proper nucleophile to install the electrophilic reaction. So you have negative now here, and that is reactive. Okay, so in this case, you are installing the imine group, and then imine you can easily do hydrolysis to generate. Okay, so you can do this way the acylation reaction. Let other people join quickly. Now halogenated pyridine do not tend to undergo nucleophilic displacement reaction, as I told, okay, with alkyl lithium or alkyl magnesium reagent. So methylated pyridine behave like conventional Grignard reagent. So like you have alkyl or the lithiated pyridine, it behaves like the like alkyl lithium or aryl lithium behavior. So it will do like Grignard reagent type of. I mean, it will behave like Grignard reagent. Okay, so now suppose you may think, sir, how I'll do the formylation. So it is okay, you can make the ketone, but how you'll make the aldehyde? Okay, now look at this one. This is the ethyl formate. Okay, so ethyl formate is one of the important reagent you can utilize here to do the formylation. What you do, first you generate the lithiation, okay, and then you add the ethyl formate. So this negative is going to attack this carbonyl carbon, and you have the ethoxide will come out. Understood? So suppose you have lithiation here, so you have nitrogen, you have done the lithiation here. This is Li. Now this negative charge, this pyridyl group, it is attacking here. We have an ethoxide is going to come out. So this way you can do formylation here. Another important formulating group I'll tell as the DMF. Okay, so this alkyl lithium reactivity, this alkyl lithium reactivity is happening in case of DMF. You see how it is happening. So DMF is NN dimethyl formamide, right? So you have NN dimethyl formamide. So you have again formyl functionality here. Okay. So in this case, the pyridyl group will attack here, and you have NN dimethyl amide will come out. Okay. So this we see in these cases. So you can do formylation. Now another interesting reaction is the direct ring, okay, CH metallation, ring CH metallation. So you don't have anything, okay, you don't have any group here. So what we do is here, you look at the temperature now, minus 78 degree, right? So if you use the minus 78 degree temperature, what is going to happen? It is going to behave, the alkyl lithium is going to behave as the base, okay? Rather it will behave as, rather than it, nucleophile, okay? So it will behave as the base. So what is happening here? Now you have some special ligand which will coordinate with the lithium. Okay, first the lithium will coordinate with the nitrogen, bring the reagent butyl lithium to the nearby of this alpha position. Okay. Now, what will happen? The butyl is going to abstract the proton from the alpha position. Okay, it will abstract the proton from here. So you can, in simplest way, you can think the lithium is going to come closer here, and you have the butyl here. Okay. Now butyl has the option of acting as the nucleophile and acting as the base, but it's low temperature, it will act as base, so it will abstract the proton, and you have negative charge here. Okay. Now the lithium is going to jump there. Okay. So you will have the lithiation. Now once you have the lithiation, you will have you can do many electrophilic reactions. Okay. Similar way, if you have this one, this side is blocked, so you will have the selective position here. Okay, so there the reaction is going to take place. You have the lithiation here, and now you can use one electrophile to do the reaction at the center. So you have the negative charge, so that is going to attack at the alpha center, and you have the reaction. Okay. What will happen initially? You will have the aromatization will not be there. That aromatization is required to have some hydride acceptor, so that is oxygen here, so you can have the reaction. Okay. Now use of directing group. So what you have seen here, there is no directing group, right? So in this case, if there is no directing group, always the reaction will take place at the alpha position. Okay, take place, lithiation will be at alpha position. Now, if you have the directing group, based on the directing group, you have the lithiation. Okay. Now let us look at what are those. So this is one molecule. We have this functionality here. If you are using tertiary butyl lithium, so again you are using the butyl lithium, okay, at very low temperature. That means it is going to act as base. What is going to happen? You look at first the lithium, which will coordinate, okay, this oxygen, and you have the butyl group will be coming closer to the para position, okay, and then it will abstract the proton, and you have lithiation here. Now, if you have the lithiation, then you can do electrophilic reaction at this center, okay. Now look at how you can do halogenation. So you can use this like monochloroiodoethane, okay, 1,2 monochloroiodoethane. So that you can use, and you know this iodine is more electron accepting. In that sense, you have the d orbital vacant. Okay, so what you do, the pyridyl, you have this is minus, this is plus. So the pyridyl group will prefer to attack on iodine rather than the chlorine. So you have so it will attack here. You see here, it will attack, and this is going to open. So ultimately, it will release the ethylene, and you have chloride come out. Okay, so this is going to happen. So this way you can generate the iodination at the center. Okay, para position. Now look at another example. We have this is another molecule. Okay, you are using one lithium reagent. Okay, now this one again, it will prefer to do the lithiation route via this directing group. So first the lithium will be coordinating, and it will allow the EMF to come closer to the center, and it will abstract the proton, and then you have the lithiation at that center. Okay, now after doing that one, you can do whatever you want. You can do many reaction if you use the amide. Okay, any amide if you use. So what is going to happen? This is going to attack here, and this is going to come out. Okay, so I'm giving different electrophile. If you look at, in one case I have given PCN, right, PHCN nitrile to install the carbonic. Okay, now here I have given pH. So this is just to make you familiar what are the things you can utilize. So you are giving the amide. Okay, similar situation will have if you have the ester. Okay, so you can do different group substitution. So this is, you look at the substitution has taken place at this uh, position. So substitution means you are eliminating the hydride here from this thing. You have a hydrogen, so that you are replacing with this group. Now, what is this one? This is you have the tetramethyl system. Okay, so that is here. Now you look at another example. This example is a bit interesting. So what you have here, you have this group, okay, and you are using butyl lithium. So butyl lithium, if you look at two equivalent. So two equivalent means actually one equivalent is going to abstract the proton here because you have the NH here, okay, and C double bond O, this ester group is here. So that means this hydrogen is acidic. So that's why if you use one equivalent, what is going to happen? Only the proton abstraction will take place here and nothing is going to happen. That's why you have to use excess butyl lithium. So two equivalent, first equivalent is abstracting proton here. And then you have the lithiation. So then another molecule is going to interact with this group. The lithium is interacting and you have the butyl group will come closer to this meta position. Okay, so what we will expect is the meta butylation. I mean, meta position, not butylation, meta position lithiation. So first the meta position lithiation will take place, and then you are using methyl iodide. So that lithiation pyridyl group that is going to attack the methyl, and you have methyl incorporation. Now what you are doing again, you are using. So after preparing this one, you are quenching and all. So finally what you will have, this is your pure product. Then you are suppose using another batch of butyl lithium, two equivalent. So first equivalent as usual, it is going to take proton from here, it will be negative and it will just abstract the proton. So one equivalent will be destroyed there. And now another equivalent, what it is going to do, it will abstract the proton from this methyl because the negative charge of a methyl will be stabilized. So CH2 minus, that will be stabilized because you have this resonating structure. Okay, we have this resonance. So that is going to happen and it will be negative charge, and that negative will react with the butyl, I mean DMF, and you will have formylation. So DMF, just before I have told, we have N here and in dimethyl from amide. So double bond O and H. So that CH2 minus is going to attack the methyl, this carbonyl carbon, amide is going to come out. So you have formation. Okay. Now if you do just the acid treatment, what is going to happen here? This is amide, right? Ester amide. So this is going to be hydrolyzed. You will have NH2. This carbonyl carbon. You have the. If you look at what I'm writing here, maybe. So you have N, H. You have C double bond O, O, and then you have tertiary butyl group. Okay, you have tertiary butyl group. Now, what is going to happen? Here you have the pyridine, that one. If you do hydrolysis, so it is going to be clipped. Okay, you have NH2 formation. Now, this NH2 and this carbonyl carbon, so you can have one molecule of water can come out from this here. You have imine formation. Okay, so initially you have the imine here, and then that will be rearranged to give you this one. So you got the point, maybe. Uh, Initially it will be generating this one. You have so this double bond N will be generating. Now this is benzylic position, so it will try to be uh, rearranged, okay, this way, and it will generate this as the compound. So this way you can construct different compounds too. You can synthesize different compounds. The main thing is that where the lithiation is going to take place based on your um, directing group. Now we will look at another type, like you have the direction based on the halogen. Okay. Now look at here what is used, the LDA. Okay. I think everybody knows the LDA. This is the LDA. So diisopropyl amide, right? So this is N minus lithium plus. Okay. NN diisopropyl amide. So this is people are using. So you have negative temperature again. What is going to happen? Uh, Now, in this case, the lithium will have a weak coordination here and allow the uh, amide group to come approach to the nearby this meta position. So you'll have the proton abstraction from this center. Okay, it will be generating one negative. Lithium will come here, so lithiation, and then you are using uh, ethyl formate. So that means you are doing formylation. Okay, you are doing formylation, and now you can use another nucleophile that you have seen in the first slide. Okay, so methoxide can act as nucleophile. It will attack here, okay, and this can come out because your ring is now uh, electron deficiency has increased. Okay, because you have installed the electron withdrawing group here, and nitrogen is also acting as the electron withdrawing. So that means nucleophile can easily attack. Okay, so you have methoxide installation. Another reaction, you have this group. What is going to happen? You have here, here. Look at how much amount you have.
Sir,
Yes, tell.
sir, first one reaction, then where beta position is CHO group.
Yes, beta position you have the formylation here. Okay, beta position formylation is happening because you are using first the lithiation is taking place. Okay, in the first phase, the lithiation is taking place at the beta. Okay, lithiation is taking place. You have the halo here, nitrogen. So lithiation, and then you have the formylation because you have the formate. So ethyl format, I mean OET that I have shown earlier. So what is going to happen? This pyridyl group it is going to attack, and this ethoxy group is coming out. So you have the CHO formylation is happening. Okay, and now after that, when you have the formylation, the ring became again electron deficient. Okay, so it will allow the nucleophile to attack easily, and chloride is going to come out. So methoxide is going to react, and it will be installing the methoxide here. Okay, so that is the what I want to mean. Now in the second case, what is happening? You have the halogen here, you have the group here, CONHPH. Now you have to use excess butyl lithium. Why? You have the NH here. So that N minus is stabilized because you have C double bond O here. You have carbonyl CO. Okay. So that's why you need to use excess butyl lithium, and preferable position will be this one because you have both sides. You have chlorine here, you have another lithiating group. So both will be directing to this one. People can think the reaction can happen here with this one. This is this block, maybe this is bulkier, so you cannot enter. It's not like that. Your lithium will be more stabilized due to the coordination between the chlorine and here C double bond O. Okay, so that will help the lithium coordination this side, and your butyl group will approach here to abstract the proton here, and you will have the lithiation here, not this side. So lithiation will be happening this meta or beta position, and then if you use the suitable electrophile, so your reaction is going to happen. Here people are using DMF, so you are installing the formylation groups. Okay, you are doing formylation, so formyl group is CHO group is you are installing. Now, if you look at, if you do hydrolysis, what is going to happen? You have NH here. Yeah, not hydrolysis, you have NH here. So N minus that can attack this carbonyl, and you have this high membered ring formation. Okay, that is easier. You can understand here. You have the first butylation. You see, two equivalent. You have N minus that you have understood. So that N minus will going to react here, and it will be generated this one. What you need to know, you have to have to get the final product, you have to quench. So water is there, so ultimately you have OH here. Okay, so the last reaction what I am showing here is the most important reaction. You'll understand why it is most important reaction. Now here, if you look at, this is your substrate. You have two halogen, here LDA. Okay, low temperature. So what we know is that it is going to act as base. So this block side, nothing is going to happen this side. So LDA is interacting with the iodine. Now remember, LDA will never act as nucleophile. It's very bulky, right? It's very bulky. So never act as nucleophile. So it will always act as base. So lithium will be coordinating here and allow the LDA to approach here. So you have the hydrogen, so it will be abstracting hydrogen. Okay. Now what will happen? That position lithiation will reorganize to have the lithiation at the meta position by exchanging the position between the lithium and the iodine. Okay, so if you look at, first it will generate, then you will have the exchange reaction. So you have iodine will be coming here, lithium will be coming here. Why it will happen? Because if lithium is coming here, you have the stability, right? Lithium will be more stable at this stage. So more stable litho compound than this one. Okay, you have the one interaction here. So you have more stability here. That's why lithium will jump here. Now, simultaneously, what you are seeing, your iodine was at the meta position. It went to the para position, right, in this exchange reaction. So what we call it here, this reaction is called, we call it as the halogen dancing. Okay, so your halogen is dancing. So it's changing its position from meta to gamma position. Okay, or the beta to gamma position, beta to para position. So this is very, very important. Now you have the lithiation at this meta position. So if you give any kind of nucleophile, whether it is DMF, whether it is formamide, or whether it is ethyl formate, or you can use the in any kind of electrophile if you use. Okay, the reaction is going to happen at this meta position. Okay, so your product will be like this. So here in this case, there is an aldehyde, so it is going to react with the carbonyl carbon, and you will have the hydroxylation. So you have this product formation. Interestingly, you know your iodine is here, not the here. So you don't have the reaction at this center, rather your reaction is happening at the center. Okay, so electrophilic substitution is happening at the meta center. So that's why it is very, very important. Okay, so these are the altogether most of the nucleophilic reaction we have seen today. So the remaining portion will be discussing in the next class, the pending reactions. Okay, and then we'll move to other the other heterocyclic compound. So anybody is having any question? So if you have any question quickly, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll stop here. You just go through, read, then you'll understand. Okay. You just go through. If you have any queries in between, you can always ask me. Okay, then I'm stopping here.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let us sharing.